Hello class 10 students. In this lecture, I am going to explain the topics of resources and development, the first chapter of our geography book. This is the second part. So if you have not seen the first part, you do see that. Now in the second part, I am going to explain about development of resources and how sustainable development and it affects to achieve the resources. Development of resources. Like development of resources is an important to meet the ever-growing needs of human population. It is also important because human beings had used them anyway and now created few problems. In the beginning, when these resources were found and started for use, people did not think that a day will come when we will have the crisis of these resources, depletion of these resources. And now today the problem has come. God has given us everything for our need, nothing for our greed. But we are so greedy that we have kept our need somewhere and now we are thinking about only the money and the profit which can be made by any way of using these resources. We simply don't bother about the future generation, but this chapter teaches us that we have to think about our future generations too. What are these problems? Could be explained in these points. Depletion of resources. Slowly, resources are coming to an extent where we can say that enough we have used. Now leave it for next generation. Accumulation of resources in few hands. Some multinational companies, developed countries have occupied those resources, so that created a wide gap between rich and poor people in our society. Global crises are also one of the main cause. Such as global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental pollution and land degradation. And if you believe it or not, but for most of this global crisis, who are responsible? We are responsible. We are not taking care of this nature the way we are supposed to. Definitely, if we have a problem, we have to think about the solution. Let's talk about sustainable development and efforts to achieve it. The concept of sustainable development is all the more important today, and international organizations also strive to achieve it. Important points, if you keep in mind, then this would be like this. Sustainable economic development is a development that should take place without damaging the environment, and the development in the present should not compromise with the need of future generation, as I just told you. Only we have to develop. Don't talk about the future generation, then definitely we are not behaving as a proper human being, right human being. We are selfish more and more today. So I support this statement that use the resources in the way so we can answer properly to our future generation. The first International Earth Summit held in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 1992 was attended by more than 100 countries. and it endorsed the Global Forest Principle and adopted Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in 21st century. And what is this Agenda 21? Agenda 21 is a declaration signed by world leaders in 1992 at a United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, which is called in short UNCED, UNCED. The aim or it aims at achieving global sustainable development. It is an agenda to combat environmental damage, poverty, disease through global cooperation on common interest, mutual needs and shared responsibilities. One major objective of Agenda 21 is that every local government should draw its local Agenda 21 to keep their resources safe and environment pollutionless and work hard into this scenario. So every country started resource planning. Planning is needed for judicious use of righteous use of resources. You can say there are regions which are rich in certain resources and deficient in some other resources, because of which balanced resources planning is required at the nation state, regional and local level. The following examples will make it very clear. Arunachal Pradesh has a lot of water, but lack of infrastructure and development, it is not utilized. Rajasthan has again a lot of possibilities of solar and wind energy, but lack of water resources. The cold desert of Ladakh has a very rich cultural heritage, but it is deficient in water, infrastructure and some other vital minerals. In the state of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh are rich in minerals and coal deposits, but lack of necessary infrastructure. So Government of India starts the resource planning. India has made very effective efforts for achieving the goals of resources planning from first 5 years plan launched after independence. It uses 3 steps complex process for resources planning, which involves number 1, identification and inventory of resources in the country. This is done through survey, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimate, measures of resources, involving a planning structure endowed with technology, skill and institutional setup, matching the resources and its development plan with overall national development plan. So, I don't think these are very important to discuss each and every aspects of this resource planning in India, because it has been seen that for last 15 years I have not seen any question from this particular topic, the resource planning in India. But yes, in fact, for other topics, it's all very important. Hope I made you clear about these topics which I have just discussed to you: development of resources, sustainable development and Agenda 21, resource planning and resource planning in India. In next video, we will discuss more topics of this chapter. By that, and don't forget to revise it from your NCERT book. Make proper notes. Keep studying, keep revising. Thank you.